Okay, guys, let's take a look at one-step equations. So these are the first equations that we start to solve, and there's definitely a process for how we're going to do these that can work every single time. So there's definitely a pattern to it, which is nice. Um, Anytime you're solving an equation, you want to start by figuring out where is the variable, and the variable, all that means is where's the letter, the x. And it's not always an X. So, but X is like the general letter that we use. But in this case, on the first one here, I see that it's K. So I see I'm looking which side of the equation is it on. Okay, so I've got that one. Here I've got x minus 12. Here I've got negative 6x. And then over here I've got n over 3. Okay, so I found the letter and I've noticed what side of the equation it's on. Now I'm going to actually, like, in my brain, I'm going to do it out loud for you, but if I was sitting in class, if I was figuring this out, I would do this in my head. I'm going to read just that side. I don't care about the other side right now, just reading this side. So the first one says negative 13 plus k. Okay, I just said plus k. I'm adding to k. Well, what I want you to do is think, I have to do the opposite because you're solving. You're solving a puzzle. You're having to work backwards. Okay. So if it says plus, that means I need to do the opposite. I need to subtract. I need to subtract a negative 13. That just means I'm going to do the opposite of negative 13. It says negative 13. I'm going to put plus 13. And anytime you're doing something, you always put it on both sides of the equation. Okay. Let's do another one because that can be confusing with the negatives and all that stuff. Let's do this one. It says x minus 12. Well, if it says x minus 12, it's subtracting. I want to add 12. I'm going to put plus 12 on both sides. The next one says negative 6x. Well, if I don't see a sign in between the number and the letter, then it's always multiplying. Okay, so if it says times x, then we have to do the opposite. So think about the opposite of times is divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by whatever's being multiplied to x. So that means the negative 6. Divide by negative 6. Okay, last one is, I'm going to read what it says. It says n over 3. So if it says that, that's the same as divided by. Whoops. I'm just trying to draw a divide symbol. So n divided by 3 is what that's saying. So if it says divide, think about the opposite of divide is times. So I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides of the equation. Okay. So now we're ready to just sort of finish it up. The last thing would be to say, okay, well, let me draw a line here. Negative 13 plus 13 is 0. So I'm going to put a z. It's gone. 0 is just gone. All I'm left with is the k over here equals, and then negative 5 plus 13. That's 13 minus 5, so that's 8. So that is k equals 8. Over here, I've got negative 12 plus 12. That's 0. So all I have left is x. 4 plus 12 is 16. That's that answer. Now I've got negative 6 divided by negative 6, which is positive 1. So 1 times x is just x. That's why we divided by it, was so that we would just have x equals. And then negative divided by negative is positive. 30 divided by 6 is 5, so that's 5. And on the last one, n over 3 times 3, if you think of it, it's like 3 over 1. So those 3's cancel, and that leaves us with just n. N divided by 1 is still n. 14 times 3 is 42. Yep, 42. So that's it. In a nutshell, it's a lot. Watch it again or watch some of my other videos if you need some more help with one-step equations. And I'll see you next time.